Hey yo, it's Voidhunt here. So today I'm gonna teach you how to have actual fun in Battlefield 2042. They say it can't be done, but I actually have quite a few hours in this, despite it being, Battlefield 2042. So I actually do know how to have fun in it, and I'm gonna talk about it. Now the first thing you're gonna want to do to have fun in this game is to set those expectations of yours low. Very low. You're going to want to drop that bar into the Marianas Trench, James Cameron style, and instead ask yourself one very simple question. Can I get a refund on this? Probably not. So the first thing you're going to want to do is abandon all hope. You have to forsake it from your mind and forbid it from ever returning during your 2042 gaming session. This is a very key aspect to having fun in this game. Don't ever, and I mean ever, expect it to improve in any way, shape, or form. Pretend this is a AAA game from back in 2010, right? It's a full, complete package at launch, where outside of, some occasional DLC, at most you might have expected a few bug fixes, the original Modern Warfare 2, the double shotguns. That was one of the few things I remember them actually fixing in that game. But anyway, this game is not getting better. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. It's been 6 months and they come out with a scoreboard, right? So rest in peace. Now that being said, how do you have fun? Let's get right into it. So whether you're playing either of the two game modes Battlefield 2042 has, you're going to make sure to largely decouple yourself from the outcome of the match. Almost entirely, really. Push the objective because it's fun for you, not because you expect to have any meaningful impact on the match outcome whatsoever. For one thing, half the match is entirely comprised of actual bots, so you really shouldn't be taking anything too seriously anyway at this point. So just push because you want to push. It's fun to play the objective, not because you actually expect to have any meaningful impact whatsoever. Or don't push, don't play the objective, and join the line of snipers in the far rear for the next sniping 2042 montage. Whatever you want to do. Literally do whatever you want, because at the end of the day, it really won't make that much of a difference either way. This doesn't include vehicles though. I do think those actually have a bit of an impact on the overall match, especially if you're just hogging it and hiding in your own spawn. Probably not doing your team any favors, but then again, half of them are bots, so you don't care. But for those dozen or so human players on your team, just try to take it a little bit more seriously if you're an important vehicle like a tank. This doesn't apply to personal vehicles though, and that's actually one of the best ways to have fun in this game is by using personal vehicles. Gone is any real use for the hoverboat. Post nerf, I know that nerf was a while ago, but ever since that happened, there is no point to the hoverboat. It's just not good. Instead, what you're going to want to grab, Instead, you want to grab yourself a bolt. You may be tempted to be the 30mm gunner of your own bolt, setting up in a good, non-exposed location, but there's a good chance either A, squad mate, or B, some random guy is going to hop in the driver's seat and they're just going to straight beeline towards the nearest batch of enemies, hop out, die immediately, and leave you stranded to then die following suit. There's seriously a 70% chance of something like this happening. I don't know what to tell you. Don't do it. I even think the bots will get in there at some point. Just don't even bother with that. Anyway, the best way to avoid that is to just stick to the driver's seat and engage in some combat driving. The best loadout for this in my experience is cluster mines with thermal smoke or smoke dispenser. Smoke dispenser is really good against recoilless rockets. Pretty much kind of covers you entirely, covers the road entirely. They can't really see where you are anymore. That's cool. But then again, the thermal smoke itself protects against lock-ons, and that's usually what's gonna kill you. So I use thermal smoke now, but smoke dispenser also has a place. Anyway, running a 30mm and having a gunner is optional, as while a good bolt driver and gunner is definitely one of the most fearsome things on the battlefield, you really have no way to control who gets in that gunner, or any way to know how good they are as a gunner. It's a safe bet, though, to assume that they're not very good, as oftentimes people supplement their poor performance by hopping in a vehicle. So if someone's randomly hopping in your gunner seat, you kind of have your work cut out for you. Now all you gotta do is just turn on the in-game radio and go barreling through enemies. Make sure to drop your cluster mines just as you reach the cluster of enemies, and you'll get a whole lot of kills as you drive on through cruising. You can also use the Jeep for this, but it's a lot harder to control. It doesn't have cluster mines. Rocket can take you out in one hit, and yeah, but you can use it if you want. Just don't use the hovercraft. As I said before, it sucks now. It's a paper mache death trap. Don't touch it. Next is to play like your spec ops behind enemy lines. Normally this is done by using a wingsuit or grapple to reach a position behind the enemy, where you can then drop a spawn beacon on it, behind enemy lines. This is a lot of fun because the enemies, for one, are taken completely by surprise. They just don't expect it. And with the spawn beacon equipped, you and your squad can keep attacking from the same exact position behind them over and over again, and somehow keep surprising them over and over again. Now eventually, they'll start hunting you down to search for the spawn beacon, they're human players anyway, but that's just more fun for you. Spawn beacons are great in general, as for whatever reason, enemy players will rarely destroy them unless they clearly see you spawning from one, even if it's out like plain as day. I've even seen people drop it right when they're about to die to just respawn right on their own body, kill their former attacker, and then keep on trucking like nothing happened. So it's pretty fun stuff. This tactic also works pretty well with another fun one, which is becoming a close quarters combat command mode. Admittedly, this requires you to be in the 20% of the map that isn't an open field with no cover. The methodology here is pretty simple though. You crank out your automatic weapon or shotgun to have as much DACA as possible, slap on a recoil attachment since silencers are pretty useless in this game, and start acting out that scene from Kingsman or Deadpool or Requiem of a Dream, or any of the Rambo movies really. Play like you're an action hero of some kind, like John Wick, playing super aggressive with the knowledge you'll spawn like 15 feet away no matter what at your secret spawn location, just safe and sound while they have to run back from whatever. This dramatically decreases the downtime and keeps you constantly in the action where the fun's at, rather than running towards it over and over again and flipping a coin to see if the vehicle kills you or not before you see a single enemy player. That's pretty much all I've got for you though. The map's pretty fun, but whatever. I spent like 30 minutes trying to come up with another one, but other than immersing yourself in the glitches, like battling a fleet of invisible planes and hearing Angel's sweet voice as he does it all again, it's just pretty 2042. Reading the chat log can also be fun, I guess, but be sure to only play during primetime hours, even on the weekends, like no matter what. Because instead of it being 50% of the lobby being bots, you'll just be by yourself, or you won't even be able to get into a match at all, just stuck on the waiting screen, the latest Battlefield. But yeah, if you have any of your own fun tactics you love using for this game, be sure to let me know with a comment down below. Thanks for tuning in, be sure to subscribe, and this is Void Hunt signing out.